I'm reading today from Path to Happiness and studying faith. This is one of the keywords in the chapter on questing, an expression of please in the 7-word system. Sufi teacher Hazrat Inayat Khan explains that there is no significant difference between faith and self-confidence. To grasp the implication of this, we will want to understand that at the highest reaches, we identify God as an aspect of self, as much as we identify self as an aspect of God. Having confidence in ourselves necessarily means that we trust whatever impulses come from our higher selves, which we simply cannot differentiate from God. And this trust in our higher self is faith. This interpretation, linking faith with self-confidence, is liberating. We no longer feel the same religious duty to God. Instead, we claim full responsibility for our own lives, accepting the gift of free will and leaving God to its proper place in the universe as the unknowable prime cause and most fascinated, caring observer. We are not parented by a loving but stern Finger Wagger in the sky who booms out loud on Sunday and sighs accusingly as we plummet into the Nether Regions when the time comes to shift off this mortal coil. These old-fashioned images of a man with a white beard were marketing devices of early churchmen to claim their place in society, encouraging uneducated poor folk to project their superstitions and hopes and fears onto the images. A stern father with the power to send you to hell was what they came up with. Faith evolves in us the more we trust in it. This begins in childhood and reaches greater maturity as our life experiences validate our beliefs. The first stage is to trust in our impulses. They are felt in the physical body as unexplained inclinations to do something or go somewhere unexpectedly, and are observable as the normal behavior of infants. As intelligence awakens, we are told what is real and put our faith in the parents who tell us. At some point we find out that Santa Claus is a fabrication, and our all-powerful worldly father has human frailties and faults, and mother is not always soft and kind. This challenges our sense of security, and it becomes necessary to think for ourselves, putting faith then in our powers of reasoning. People who have reached this stage are not common. For millennia, the processes of religious indoctrination has distorted the way we reason, and because most religions teach rather silly ideals that generally drives out rational analysis, it is an unusually sharp and true mind that can still penetrate through the deceit and illusion to see things as they really are. Even Einstein blinkered himself from seeing the reality of quantum mechanics by stubbornly holding to a false belief in religious doctrine. Less common still are the ones who have the keen sensitivity needed to have conviction in the heart's capacity to access the deeper truths the mind cannot hold. And going even beyond that, there is the faith of soul consciousness, a still point of certainty that shines clear and bright, even as the body, mind and heart are faltering with doubt, guiding us to do what needs to be done in the certain knowledge that all is well and always will be. This is mature faith. It is not blind, nor is it logical, nor is it a compulsion of the body or heart. It arises out of dormancy, awakened by the seeker's diligent approach to our quest. Careful, insightful reflection upon involvements. This delivers an understanding of how life works, what it all means, and that it is simply the way it must be. There is no greater reward than faith because it is the guardian that holds watch at the gate of the heart. In other words, it doesn't allow anything to enter the heart that would rob it of joy. Strong faith ensures that the default condition of life is joy. We may well take pleasure in the ups and downs of emotional adventures, yet when all comes to rest, we settle again into peaceful certainty. This is the soul's condition before incarnation, and so our return to it is a blessed remembrance. At last we remember who we are. Questing can now be seen in its full range. Vision sharpened into focused intention and supported by collaborative involvements leads us ever towards that place of faith that dissolves the question, who am I? The question disappears because in faith it really doesn't matter who I am. How could anything as momentary as individual identity be worth our committed attention, when we could instead focus on the sacredness of our faith in the eternal? So we may now correct an earlier belief that our quest is to find God through self-discovery, or even to find self through God discovery. The question becomes how to perfect my faith. So how do we? It takes a bit of a rebellious attitude and individual courage to actually see that most people get it all wrong, life's meaning, that is, and that very few care enough to do what is needed to understand what is really happening. A children's story speaks of the mass hypnosis and collective delusion that allows the general population to see the naked emperor wearing fine clothes. It is the innocent child that speaks up. He has no clothes. The emperor has no clothes. The first stage to refute what is self-evidently false is the beginning of a long journey. The refutation is born as a glimmer of suspicion, perhaps later becoming a decided private opinion, but not yet safe to talk about. Then we may spend some time with people who have different opinions and beliefs from ours, and study traditional and modern philosophical and spiritual teachings. In this way, hidden within the lies and nonsense of Scripture, we uncover something golden. We find similarities of teachings across cultures and across the centuries. From this we build a mental model in the form of wisdom and morality, and this shapes our beliefs. As a result, we make different types of choices. We walk new paths, learn new ways of behaving and new ways of seeing things. This alone will not do much to open the heart, which we need to open to access the deeper mysteries. For this we need to feel love and express it. Body, mind and heart are all interconnected agencies of perception. The body grasps sensory input. The mind interprets this and calls it reality, and the heart seeks to know the meaning of the experience in the context of its world of love, harmony and beauty. The heart's teachings are more poetic and inspired than logical. All you need is love, and love will find a way, are expressions of faith rather than intelligence. Not false, but not reliable life instructions either. There are no reliable life instructions. Whereas one might think that this revelation is terrifying, it comes hand in hand with its counterpart revelation, that whatever occurs and whatever could ever occur is only a reflection of our ability and appetite to cope with it creatively. This is exciting, empowering, and life-changing. Faith offers calm certainty. It provides us with the serenity we need in a storm. Only life turbulence can examine and so improve our ability to demonstrate this fact. In the event of a hurricane, we can enjoy the storm thoroughly until it is time to slip easily into its unmoving center. We will not master this practice without hurricanes to play with, so why not go looking for a few of them? We must do this if we want to test the courage of our convictions and consciously become an independent agency of creation. These are metaphorical hurricanes, more properly identified as dire life circumstances or emotional crises. To bring us to a fuller state of self-realization, we must open up the channel that allows divine inspiration ready access to influence our thoughts, feelings, and decisions, so that we guide our own lives with soul awareness. Instead of identifying ourselves as a physical body with a personality and soul, we say, I am soul, employing this personality and body for this brief lifetime. The soul's perspective is not subject to illusion. What is seen for what it is, yet it knows that no one else could see it the same way, and that truth is subjective. The freedom that arises through faith is entirely exhilarating. It is fearless, joyful, innocent, and beyond the reach of worldly constraints. Nothing compares to it. In soul consciousness, lacking fear or confusion, our desires are met much more easily, and life can become a playful passage from one delightful surprise to the next. Faith is an expression of trust and patience. We trust it'll all be okay, and we're prepared to wait until that happens. If your situation right now isn't exactly the way it needs to be, it will be. Soon or later, it will be. Trust that. Mumin, trust. Sabur, patience. Ya Mumin. Ya Mumin, Ya Sabur. 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 Amin.